Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to be getting started here. We had CPI news, prices now, consolidation and retracing here. We could see price come and reach back down towards these lows, basically the news low. But we're just going to watch price, look for potential entries, but right now it's just chopping back and forth. Not interested in this right now. All right, we're going to thanks for joining here. We're waiting for the news, or excuse me, for open here in about 3 minutes. Now, for those of you that trade eval accounts, which I do, Apex is having a 90% off sale right now, where you can get an account for about $18, which is not bad. All right, it is opening. It is open. And if we take a look here, we have our regular trading hours. We have this big opening range gap. I think we're going to head this direction, but we just need a potential entry. And right now we don't have an entry. So my job here is to sit and wait for a potential entry. So let's go out of, let's actually open this here. So there's our opening price. That's what we're watching for right there. Now let's go back to like training hours. All right, so this is the range that we're looking for. We can see price come down to the 50% level or 75% level. So if you break this box into quarters, that's how that works. And while we're doing that, I'm actually buying myself a couple eval accounts that I want to use because they're 90% off right now. No, I do not have a code for anybody to use. I am not an affiliate with them or anybody else. We have mitigation here. If you have questions, put them in the comments. We are simply just waiting, letting time tick at the moment until we start seeing something that is attractive. Right now we haven't seen anything that I like. And I see the chart. I have the chart right in front of me. There's just nothing here. There's nothing right now really for us to talk about. We had the news candle, which is not a fair value gap. This is basically just a giant void. You tend to see price want to come and fill that. However, it doesn't always do that. And really, we look really bullish. So if we go into, if we go to the let's go to the 4 hour. And if we just got done, we have this low resistance liquidity. Low resistance liquidity right here. We ran this high right here. And let me just pull that over a little bit more. That line right there. That purple line is what we hit. And right now, I expect higher prices to come, more than likely. Let's do one more. All right, if you look at this high, we just made equal highs here. That's equal highs right there that they left. We will more than likely come back and tag those. Could be now, could be later, but anytime you get equal highs, you want to mark them. All right, that is enough. We are going to be patient and wait. There we go. We got some movement there. There is not a fair value gap here. There's not a fair value gap in this area, so we really have no entry. We have a high, low, higher, high. We could consider this a market structure shift. I'm not really putting much weight into that, considering we have equal highs right here. Now, what it could give us is a fair value gap, and if it gives us a fair value, if it breaks this fair value gap, that might be worth taking a look at. We just grabbed liquidity below here. We could target these highs. So we stabbed below this consolidation. When you stab below it, there's a higher probability that we run to the other side. It's not a guarantee, but it's something I look for in for signatures and price. So if we see this to be aggressive, I may consider taking, let's see, what does a 2 minute look like? Yeah, 2, nothing there. Yeah. Good morning, Vital. Thanks for joining this morning. Low expectations on the day overall, guys. We had a gigantic news candle, a behemoth of a news candle. In 1 minute, we had 120 points. So right now, we're in consolidation. We just need to see more happen. I have a couple things marked out, but really we're just watching price. We got 40 seconds left on this candle. More than likely, we're going to hit this high. Let's see if we get it. We're just looking to close below this fair value gap. But it needs to close. I like this aggressive candle. We have to close above this fair value gap right here. If we close above this, makes this a higher probability, and we do. I'm going to take that as an entry. We're targeting right here for our
order submitted.
Our highs right here. We're targeting the equal highs. We have a relatively small fair value gap in this. So if we close below this gray box, we close the trade. We've got 27 seconds. Let's see how it plays out. This isn't a guarantee, guys. We're in a little bit of chop, but the risk is relatively small compared to the gain. And we have equal highs, so it's worth a shot. We got 8 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. It closed right on, basically
order
right
filled.
at it. So we're going to get out. That is the inversion model. It works most of the time. I'd say a majority of the time. But because we have this consolidation and we had this giant move, it was just less predictable. But we had a small fair value gap to work with, so it gives us less risk. Yeah, you could lose, but if you do lose, it's not a big loss. It's going to be a smaller loss, and that's what that was. And it absolutely could still work out. It could wick back up here and let's see, 3. Yeah, it's going to close below. So that stop loss potentially saved us from lower prices, which I'm totally okay with. So because we violated this, which is a clear, this is a textbook setup. We have relatively equal lows. We stabbed below them, and we went directly the other direction. We hit the last fair value gap with equal highs. Because it didn't pan out, that tells me this is choppy. This is crap. So there could be we could be sitting here and waiting. It's just nasty price action. I've just learned that price after big moves. We had a giant move yesterday. We had a giant candle this morning. It's very probable that we get a lot of chop. Very probable.
Order.
If you guys got questions, shoot them away. We're just sitting here, man. I'm happy to answer anything. What am I looking at? Anything like that. But most of the time I'm talking to myself, so feel free to ask any questions. We are waiting for something new. That's really what we're waiting for. We're waiting for something different. Probably, I'm waiting till 10 o'clock. We're probably not going to get anything till after 10. We got some news at 10. And even if we start getting something, low probability more than likely, so I'll be trading on an eval. It's just not something I want to risk money. So you're probably looking at this, oh, I want to get a part of this. Well, where would you have gotten in? We have, it's just so unpredictable right now. Yeah, we have this breaker, but it also is an equal high. So these equal highs invalidate this breaker potential, because to me that's a draw on liquidity. And I don't want to trade a pattern. I want to trade a draw on liquidity. Liquidity is superior. Liquidity is what we trade. Where is the liquidity sitting? Now, right now, liquidity is below this line. Liquidity is below this giant candle. Anybody that tried to get long and think we're going to explode higher, they're holding their position, hoping that it doesn't go below here, but in case it does go below there, that's where their stop loss is.
Order.
Here we go, here we go. Actually, there's really nothing going on, so. The only thing I potentially see is we have this 5-minute fair value gap right here, and if we go into a little bit higher time frame, we got a 3-minute and a 4-minute fair value gap right here. That could be something. Now that we came down, you know, to 50% of this opening range, we could see a pushback higher. If we do, we have some room to target these equal highs. And if we pull a Fibonacci retracement from this high to this low, and we find out where equilibrium is, guess where that's at? We have, even if we go to this low, we've hit our equilibrium point. So if price wants to move higher, it only needs to reach into discount below this 50%, and then it can start moving higher. And that could be a reason, something to look for in the charts. We don't want to go long in premium. We want to go long from discount. So in discount, we have reached down in. If this closes above it, that may be something to consider. Again, not large size, not a live account, or excuse me, not a cash account, maybe an eval, lightly targeting that. That would be the potential. Potentially what I'm looking for right here. 2-minute is roughly around the same area. 1-minute is much higher. Let's do the 2 minute. I want to mark this out on the 2, just so I have it. I want to see both the 2 minute and the 3 minute close. We got 36 seconds. And we got 2 minutes. So I can't take anything until the 3 minute closes. I'm not going to take anything. You could do the 4 minute. 4 minute is 2 minutes and 14 seconds, and the 3 minute is, yeah. So the 4 and the 3 minute are going to be closing at the same time. And the 5 minute also is going to be closing at the same time. 5 minute is not going to be closing. It's just a much larger, it's a much larger fair value gap we got right there. Why am I not too excited about this? Simply because we have reason to go lower. We also have reason to go higher. And that is a 50-50 environment. I'm not interested in 50-50 environments. We got relatively equal lows. We got the data. We also have equal highs. And we still have this gap here within this opening range gap. So that just makes all of this very low probability. So I'm not going to, I'm not saying I'm not going to, but I don't like this as much. So really, I'm going to scale down in size. I'm going to trade one micro account. Again, that's $2 a handle. It's not very large. I'm going to do that on a couple different accounts, but I'm not going to go large size because it's a 50-50 environment right now, guys. Now, I've been doing this for 2 years. I may be wrong. I may not be seeing something that somebody else does, but I'm growing in this as well. So we're really close to 3 seconds. Let's see if we close. And we closed at the 3 minute. 2 minute did not close. We could go without that. See how, let's go to the 3 minute. Look at the 3 minute, it literally close to the tick. That's not as, it works, but it's just not something that I want to see a little more. Let's see what the 1 minute is. We'll go for the 1 minute if it closes here. 1 minute sitting right here. Yeah, it's going. I'll go long right here.
Order filled.
So we left equal highs right there. We have a high here, here, and equal highs. So hang on, I'm long about right there. That is where I'm long right now. This isn't my stop, it's just somewhere I'm watching. It needs to move fairly quickly. Yeah, we already hit this high and we have not we have not pushed higher, so this is not attractive anymore. We need to push higher right away. I like that reaction. Let's go down to the 1 minute. Oh, I'm on the 1 minute here. Okay, I like the close of that candle. We just need to see some aggression. As soon as we break this high right here, my stop's being moved to break even.
Order submitted.
If we break this high, that's what I'm watching for. I want to see it break this high. Stop will be moved to break even. It could stop me out of my trade, but I would rather, okay, stop's being moved to break even. If it retraces back down to this green line, I'm out. I mean, I'm just not willing to risk to lose a lot of money, and it could stop me out easily. It either needs to move now, or I'll probably get stopped out. We will target these equal highs. Not liking that. Let's see where this candle closes.
Order submitted.
All right, I have my limits set. We want to see this push. I'm liking this close. It's a full body. I adjusted my stop. I'm putting my stop below this down close candle, the close of this right here. So let's move. My stop is going to be right there. That's where my stop's at. I want that there because I could see price coming back down into this fair value gap and tagging this and then moving higher. But really, we just want to see it target these equal highs right now. And there's a possibility I may take profit right here. We are, yeah. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I just don't want to see a down close candle closing below this, or it'll stop me out. The next target we're looking at right now is this. I want to see it close below this 1 minute. We want to see it close above this fair value gap. That's our next. We have to close above that. We really want this to close above right here. Really want that to close above. We do not want this to close red. If it does, I may consider getting out early. I don't like consecutive down close candles. Dang it. It has to go. If it doesn't go here, or if we hit these, depends how aggressive this candle is. I'm hovering above my closing it here. I have a limit order set at the equal highs, but I'm willing to close it early. Come on. Don't leave equal highs here. Okay, we're going to close above the 1 minute right there. We just did. We left equal highs right there. High probability we're going to hit this equal high at least. But I'm still hovering above it in case we decide to want to go the other direction. Come on, baby. I want to see these equal highs run, and depending on how that candle accelerates will determine if I'm taking it off or not. If we just tap above it, I'm probably going to take some off. If we I'm not liking hold, come on. All right, I'm going to close
Order
mine.
filled.
Okay, I closed that there. I got about 15 handles out of that. I just wasn't willing to let it go back down to break even. Yeah, see, multiple red candles I do not like. That I just see after the second red candle, I typically see an acceleration lower. So it may not do that here, but I've seen it happen so many times that I'm just like, I don't want to risk it.
Order filled.
We still could see some acceleration to these equal highs here. If we do, that would be nice. If we're going to hit this equal high, there's a good chance we're going to hit these equal highs as well.
Order submitted.
See some acceleration right here. Come on, hit those. Hit the equal highs there. Let's see it just, once it hits that one, I want to see it just pop right to the next one. We don't want to see this go red. We don't want to see it go red. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good sign
Order
there.
filled.
Yeah. We just tagged a breaker right here. Overlapping with a fair value gap.
Order filled.
I'd like to see it bounce off of this fair value gap and this breaker, targeting these equal highs right here. I want to see this candle be aggressive. That's what I would like to see. I'm telling you what I want to see. Doesn't mean it's going to give it to me.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
I don't want to see this. This needs to stay green. Need to stay green if we're going to see this push through.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. Come on. Needs to pump. Gotta be kidding me. Come on. Run.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
It has to target. Sorry, I'm focused on this. It says, bro, are you listening to anything? I'm asking because I'm hearing that voice. I'm not hearing, I'm not listening to anything. I have music on. I wanted to push right here. Come on. Hit it, baby. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Hit it.
Order filled.
There it goes.
Order canceled.
All right. So we finally hit those equal highs. I did re-long off of this breaker. I got in for a re-long at this breaker right here. I just, with the volatility up and down, I just wasn't willing to say anything because it's been so erratic. So I did take right off of this breaker's low when it wicked. I got in at the close right here and targeted those equal highs. And that, with just this price action, I'm probably going to be done for today. The reason I have music on my headset is because if I have it coming through the computer, you guys hear it. And last time I had it playing, well, I got a warning from YouTube. So I'm not sure exactly how to have music playing because I think it's I would rather have music out here in my environment instead of my headset. So. And then at some point, if I have any guests come on and join the stream, this is what I would need to use to hear them. But let's see. Yeah, Vital, this is honestly, the price action here is really, really crappy. We did have this signature and price, and we had these equal highs. So this signature and price was a reconfirmation. When we hit that and retraced, I was willing to go there and put my stop right below here because we do have a breaker that ran these lows over here and we had those equal highs. It is definitely, you are not trading the pattern, you're trading liquidity. You're trading liquidity. And the highest point of liquidity right now that they were targeting was these equal highs. And how do I know that? Look what price did. It wicks up above it, and now it's stalling. Could it run these highs here? Sure. But its initial target was here. And it created these equal highs here, and then it retraced. They want it to look like resistance. So retail will see this as, hey, this is resistance. So more than likely, price isn't going to come back up here. So when price almost comes back up and starts retracing, people are going short. And then what do? They explode higher to get them out of their position. So that was a win. How long you been trading, Vital? Turn it down. So. At this point, we hit these equal highs, liquidity. We could continue higher. We have liquidity. We have this low resistance liquidity here. This is the 4-hour chart. It would be really easy for price to want to target all these because these are major levels of liquidity. To me, that is the most obvious. And considering PPI and CPI were both bullish, moves, there's a high probability we're running these. We may not hit the all-time high, but there's a good probability we're going to hit these. So if that's the case, if that is my analysis on a higher time frame, I'm then walking down the time frames from the 4-hour to the 1-hour, and I'm looking for potential areas where I would want to see price go for me to enter. So on the 1-hour, we have here, we have a 1-hour fair value gap. 1-hour fair value gap sitting here. Fair value gaps typically are what send price higher. So what I mean by that is, if let's just go to some price action here that I can articulate what I mean by that. Okay, so look at this price action right here. We're starting to go higher. We hit resistance for whatever reason. We consolidate for 2 hours, consolidate for 3 hours, but look what happens. This candle wicks down into this fair value gap. Let's make that a little bit larger. It wicks down into this fair value gap, and then after it closes, guess what happens to price? It sends it higher. So fair value gaps will send price higher in one direction or the other. So here's another example right here. We have this fair value gap sitting right here. Price comes down into it and it shoots price higher. So when I'm looking at today's price action, I see this fair value gap sitting right here. It's my only context for price to move higher. Does it need to come down there? No. But for a trade idea for me to be involved in, this would need to happen. This would need to happen. So if we go down to the 15 minute, we're sitting right there. That still looks, that's interesting. We got a breaker right here. So we have a breaker sitting right there below that 1-hour SIBI. And then we go down to the 5-minute where we've been sitting. Now let's look at another scenario. Another scenario could be it doesn't want to come back all the way down here. It wants to leave this open. Okay, if that's the case, because we are redelivering, we came down into this news candle and we're moving higher from this 5-minute fair value gap. Okay, well, here's another 5-minute fair value gap right here. That is another fair value gap that we need to analyze and look at. Would price want to stop here and then move higher? Well, we already use this as part of the breaker. So we already redelivered off this 5-minute, so I'm not as interested in it. We could absolutely come back down and go higher, but I'm looking for reasons for higher moves. So overall right now, there's just not enough context. There's not enough formation of price for me to have a really realistic and good idea where price wants to go. I do have areas of interest. So if price comes back down into this area right here, this 5-minute, and finds support and maybe creates a model for me to go higher, I might look at that. But I need more context to know why I would want to do that. It could just blow right through it. If it does, then I'm looking at this blue box or this 1 hour SIBI or 1 hour fair value gap, and I want to see how price reacts in this area. Well, if it comes all the way down here, I'm really interested in this breaker. This breaker is a potential setup for a long. Okay, would price want to find resistance here and move higher? So we have a low, high, lower, a low, high, lower, low, and then explodes higher. We could see price hit this breaker. So I'm putting out multiple scenarios, multiple ideas. Now I want to see what price wants to do. My job is to analyze it and find out what the most probable idea would be. But with what I've seen so far, there's just not a lot of probability. The only thing that I saw was this move that we did right here. And the big confirmation for me was when price hit this breaker bar right there. It hit this. I got in long here. We targeted these equal highs. So that was my move for today. We're going to be done. Going to be done for today as far as trading goes. Only waiting for those setups. When the setups happen, take them and get out. Take them and get out and be done. My biggest struggle, my biggest issue in my trading, I'm being extremely vulnerable, and I'll be honest as much as possible as I can to anybody that wants to learn, because really honestly, traders have to stick together in the sense of telling the truth, not just, puffing up their chest and showing all their great trades. That is a recipe that's disingenuous to the other traders that want to learn out there. The other traders that are, hey, I'm not profitable, I want to become profitable. How do I do it? And the only way that I know how traders are going to become profitable is to see other traders be genuine in their successes and their failures and their struggles. So they have a realistic idea of what it should look like as a trader. To be 100% profitable is insanely impossible. It's not possible. So my biggest issue that I struggle with to this day is I know my setups, I know my targets, I know my strategy, I take them, but then I'm like, hey, I'm feeling great. Let's just see what else happens. And then I don't realize that I am becoming proud in my trading. I'm becoming ignorant, or not ignorant. I'm becoming, cocky in my trading. And I start taking other breakers that are less likely to play out. Or I take trades that don't even have my model set up in it. And I start pulling away from my profits. I start seeing that number go lower and lower and lower from the successful trade that I had earlier in the day. So sharing that with you guys is going to help me be more consistent in closing my charts at the end of the day, or closing my charts after I make a winning trade and saying, hey, I'm counting this as success. We're going to come back tomorrow. Okay? That is what I am working on and what I want to improve on. Every trader is in a different spot. Every trader is different things that they're working on. That's mine. I know the strategy. I know how to read price. I just need to, when I have a loss, be okay with a loss. It's okay to lose a trade and be able to walk away and not feel this pull to try to get it back. This pull to try to get back to break even. It has hurt me so many times in the past. So hopefully you like stuff like this. If you do, consider liking and subscribing, guys. Thanks for joining me today. And I will plan on doing another stream. I tried to do a stream yesterday, just didn't work out. I was having issues with my camera, realized I didn't have something plugged in, so we should be fine. We'll probably be back tomorrow. We have some news. Let's see what we got for news here real quick. Let me share my screen. All right, so this is Forex Factory. I like their chart. I like their calendar. It gives me an idea of what I'm looking at. Okay, so today is Wednesday. We just had CPI. Thursday, we have unemployment claims at 8:30. So that's going to be another news day. Should give us good price action depending on what happens today. I would love to see just chop back up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't want to see a high running day today because that means tomorrow should be a good trading day. And then Friday, we really have nothing. We have very light news. We have an FOMC member speaking. So that is what we have for today. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.